Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the airing of Grievances with Robert Grieve. I'm Eric Raymer. It's very nice to have each and every one of you here. If this is your first time visiting us, welcome. We always ask, if you see something that you like, something that you think is share-worthy, would you do us a favor and just click that big thumbs up button. That helps YouTube know that it's more relevant for other viewers, and we really appreciate that. If you're an old-timer, and I don't mean like chronologically, but if you've been here with us for now, this is our 41st.
Wow.
I believe.
It's hard to believe when I wasn't even going to do one.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes it takes a while to move the rock, but we got it going. If you've seen multiple of our videos here on the airing of Grievances, we welcome you back, and we thank you so much for coming back and subscribing, engaging with us during our premieres every Saturday morning at 9:30 in the morning.
It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun, and shout out to Marty, who we had a lot of fun with.
Killing it, Marty.
Last weekend, so thank you so very much. All right, if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the subscribe button and the notify bell. That just lets you know that we're up to some good stuff here. And keep in mind that these videos are specifically designed to support the consumer, the driving public, right?
Yep.
It's not necessarily an industry piece, but if you're in the industry, we appreciate you sharing. And again, once again, a shout out to Charlie.
Charlie, yep. Thanks, Charlie. Appreciate you.
Just really appreciate you. So there is that. Rob, before we get started, let's say hello to you.
Happy Saturday.
And to you.
Happy Saturday.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being here.
There's some news.
What's in the news?
What's in the news? Well, here's the news, and I'll read it straight off of my computer here. It says California orders Allstate, Mercury, CSAA, and CSAA is
AAA Insurance.
AAA Insurance, to refund excess profits to drivers. Now, this is big news. We did a video a little while ago talking about the $29 billion windfall that insurance companies in general kept. They kept the premiums even though fewer drivers were driving during the pandemic.
Yep.
And that became a news with Repair Driven News, as well as another news report. I'll put a link to the video that we did right here so that you can take a look and see what that's all about after we're done with this one.
Yep.
But the gist of this is the commissioner, the insurance commissioner of the state of California, said this. His last name is Lara. He says, on behalf of consumers, I'm out of patience. The insurance companies have 30 days to tell us once and for all how they're going to make it right before we take further action. He is calling for them to step up and give more of those excess premiums back to the people who paid them but didn't do any driving and therefore reduce the risk. And by the way,
I'm just hoping more states follow his lead.
Colorado.
Yep.
Hello.
Or wherever you are.
Yeah. But when he says, before we decide what further actions to take, one of the things on the table is finding those insurance companies that do not participate in this, and those fines, get this, add up to $10,000 per insured customer. That gets big fast for some of these.
That's a call to action.
I'll tell you what. So, and the response to that was the insurance companies in question said, we're aware of the order that has come down. We're taking it under advisement, and we will respond in the appropriate time given before they've got 30 days. So basically, don't bother us now.
Yeah.
We're working.
Yeah. It's kind of the golden rule. The ones with the gold make the rules.
Yeah, and insurance companies, unfortunately.
But this guy's pushing back, and we appreciate that.
Absolutely. Kudos to the commissioner in the state of California and for the commissioners in other states, Colorado. We would appreciate you taking note of this article. And if you're watching this, we'll link the article in the description box below.
Thanks for great coverage, Repair Driven News, Dave.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Yes. All right, Rob, we're going to shift gears today. And it came to our attention through a Facebook post that somebody needed help. Would you set the stage for us, please, and kind of catch us up with where we're going?
Yeah, somebody had made a post because they were in an accident asking for advice, and all the Facebook lawyers and insurance people jumped right on there.
Facebook lawyers, armchair quarterbacks, and insurance people, yeah.
She got lots of advice. Some of it was really good, some of it not so good.
Yeah.
But there was lots of conversation.
It was the question that really sparked what we are about to give to you today.
Yeah, and I just felt like, this is a question that gets asked all the time, and not necessarily answered correctly.
Right.
So I'm going to read the post.
Yeah.
And it says, "My Jeep Wrangler was rear-ended. The driver at fault has blah, blah, blah insurance, and I've been given 4 choices for inspection/repairs. Which would you choose?"
Now, just for the sake of clarification, if you search blah, blah, blah insurance, you may likely come up with ambiguous results. The insurance company in question is not ambiguous at all. It's very, very well known. One of the ones you see advertising on TV with profits generated by high premiums. Just saying.
Yeah. So here's the answer. First off, she was given 1, 2, 3, 4 choices of where she could take her Jeep to get it inspected or for repairs.
4 choices seems like a fair choice.
Right, and they're all over the place. It's good stuff. But here's the facts, and one thing that you need to know is there is a lot of things working in your favor when you're involved in an accident.
Okay.
Now, we don't want you to be involved in an accident. Nobody does. It's always going to be a pain in the butt. It's
Right.
always going to be a pain in the butt. But you have things that are set in motion for you to protect you. Okay? And so here's an instance of, you've been rear-ended. Here's 4 choices of a place to go and get it appraised and possibly repaired, depending on what you choose.
That seems very helpful.
But the fact of the matter is, in Colorado and pretty much every state in the United States, you have the right to take your vehicle wherever you want to have it repaired. They can't direct you.
We are perhaps making an assumption, but it's probably a safe assumption given the blah, blah, blah insurance company, that the 4 named collision centers are probably in what we call a DRP
Relationship.
a direct repair program or partnership relationship with that insurer. And so it serves them to guide you, suggest that you go to one of these 4. But you really do have a choice, and you can take it anywhere you want.
Well, there's over 700 shops on the Front Range.
That's true.
So here's 4 of them.
Yes.
So I just want to read out of the Colorado laws. This is
Just out of curiosity, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Was Nylons one of the suggested? Did the insurance company?
No, they did not.
They didn't suggest you?
No.
Okay, sorry about that. We were referred, but by friends.
By somebody else, yeah. So the Colorado Revised Statutes, Title 10, says this about that question.
Okay.
An insurer or its agent that issues or renews a policy that insures real or personal property shall not directly or indirectly require that appraisals or repairs to property be made or not made by a specific repair business.
So you're not. They shouldn't say you got to take it here.
Right. And I don't know if they actually said you got to take it here, but here's 4 choices you can pick from.
Yeah.
It's
I stacked the deck. Here's my cards. Go ahead and pick any one of my 4 cards.
And, I wasn't there for the conversation, and I didn't read any of the paperwork, so maybe there is something in there, but you can take it wherever you want.
We'd love to cut you the benefit of the doubt.
But the question was not posed that way.
History is not posed that way either.
So know that if you're involved in an accident, you have lots of resources. You have your policy. There are guidelines that have to be followed in your policy. There are state laws. There is the Department of Insurance. If you think that things aren't going the way they ought to be going, they're nice, friendly people.
Yeah.
You can call them and say, hey, I'm experiencing this. Does that sound right to you? And they're going to say, okay, well, let's do some further investigation into it, or their insurance companies within their rights, or,
Yeah.
they'll give you some guidance.
There are obviously people who watch this from all over the country. In fact, some from around the world. However, if you are here in the state of Colorado, I'll put a link to the Department of Insurance phone number right here.
Yeah. And so your policy is going to, if you're going through your own policy, it's going to outline what happens in the case of a loss and what their duties are and what your duties are. And but there's laws also. And one of my favorites in Title 10 is the insurance companies are required that any estimate prepared by or for an insurer covering damages that are visible and evident at the time of inspection is adequate to restore the property within a reasonable time to its condition before the loss in accordance with applicable policy provisions. So what that really means is they have to be fair with you.
Yeah.
They come and look at your vehicle, and they're not going to write what they can't see.
Yeah.
But they have to write what they can see. And they have to write it in a way that it puts it back to pre-loss condition
Sure.
in a reasonable amount of time.
In my experience over the last decade or so here, I have seen that there is sometimes a divide between what the insurance adjuster comes out and sees and writes,
Yeah.
and what you, looking at the exact same vehicle at the exact same time sometimes, see and write. And that difference can be tens of thousands of dollars in repairs.
Yeah.
How is it possible? Do insurance adjusters have an eye patch that they can only see one dimension? How is there such a difference?
Well, their goal is to, keep money in the bank as much as they can. So
And they do that by
you know,
not writing for repairs
Right,
or
and-
denying.
and where
claims.
you really get screwed is when you don't do the repairs and don't have a shop in your, working for you,
Yeah.
repair the vehicle. Then if you just keep the money and maybe paid a mortgage or a credit card or, you're not getting paid fully for the claim, and that's not the way it's supposed to work.
I understand.
That's not the way it's supposed to work. So we have ways to get you what you deserve,
All right.
whether you fix the car or not.
Right. Right.
So here's another interesting thing that you're going to find on the insurance company's estimate, and usually on the repairing collision center's estimate. And this is also part of the law. The law says this has to be there. It even specifies what point, font point, it
Oh,
needs to
really?
be size.
It has to be big enough so that you can see it and not miss
Right.
it.
And usually nobody ever actually sees this, and if they do, they don't read it.
Sure.
Believe it or not. But it's there. So I want to make sure that you guys are aware of this.
All right.
And it says, it is unlawful to knowingly provide false, incomplete, or misleading facts or information to an insurance company for the purpose of defrauding or attempting to defraud the company. Penalties may include imprisonment, fines, denial of insurance, and civil damages. So that's the body shop
Right.
has this responsibility not to provide you false, incomplete, or misleading information.
Gotcha. And there's
All right.
serious penalties that are associated with that.
Well, yeah, and the funny thing is there's serious penalties that go against the shop, but not so much the insurer. But let's go to the insurer side.
Oh, let's take a look.
Find out what the penalties are for them here in a second. So, any insurance company or agent of an insurance company who knowingly provides false, incomplete, or misleading facts or information to a policyholder or claimant for the purpose of defrauding or attempting to defraud the policyholder or claimant with regard to a settlement or award payable from the insurance proceeds shall be reported to the Colorado Division of Insurance within the Department of Regulatory Agencies. So they don't go to prison.
They don't go to prison. But they get a phone call.
Yeah.
And have to talk to the DOI.
The point of it is, they're not allowed to mislead you.
Yeah.
And misleading you can come in many different, seemingly innocent things they say and do.
Right.
And you need to know that you have rights. And if you feel like you're being misled, which happens quite often, you should contact the Department of Insurance. They want to know.
One of the symptoms of feeling like you may be misled might be a whole bunch of line items on a proper repair plan being denied payment for.
That's one of them, yeah.
Right? That would indicate a red flag. Right?
Or steering you to a particular shop, or steering you away from another shop. You know, all these things can be brought into question.
How do you do that? How would an insurer potentially steer? This is a hypothetical question, but we see it played out day in and day out. How would an insurer potentially steer somebody away from a particular shop?
Well, they may send a letter out giving all the reasons why you may want to reconsider the shop that you chose.
Yeah.
You know, this might happen and this might happen, and you have these duties and blah, 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 on and on and on, which scares people.
Yeah, they may say you will be on the... We can't guarantee full payment for all of these things because they may charge more or we're not going to pay for it.
Which is the case everywhere, but they don't send it to everybody. They send it to, about shops that they, put an asterisk next to their name or whatever. So there's many, many things that are in your favor, and if you ever have any questions about it, again, we're not lawyers.
Nope.
I'm just reading, the
law. Yeah.
As I see it, and
you're not a lawyer, but you play one on YouTube.
Yeah, something like that.
No, we don't.
But
even
there is plenty in here to protect you and get your car fixed properly, if you take it to the right repairer.
Yeah.
That has your best interests.
And there's the difference is, who is the repairer advocating for? Are they in a DRP relationship, a direct repair program or a partnership with the insurer? Then they are advocating on behalf of the insurer. They have to in order to remain in that program. Or are they an independent shop who really and truly genuinely wants you to be safe, and they're advocating on your behalf? And in many cases that sets up a dynamic of heated discussion between the shop and the insurer, which, by the way, it's their joy to do. I mean, we serve the guest here at Nylands, and so we can speak with authority about our experience.
Yeah.
And we serve the guest, which means oftentimes we, on behalf of the guest, make these phone calls back and forth with the insurer to get to the right repair.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I'm super grateful for this. You got something that you want to?
Well, I was just looking through because I knew that there was an interesting comment here. I'm an insurance agent, and you can pick any shop you want and tell them to work off the insurance estimate. You're not forced to use one of their shops. So, mostly true.
Right.
But
it's the omission.
Well, no, but it says right here, tell them to work off the insurance company estimate. We don't work off insurance company estimates. Insurance companies don't know how to repair cars.
Hello?
We know how to repair cars.
Yeah.
And we write the estimate to repair the car properly. Their job is to fund the repairs.
Right.
Our job is to perform the repairs.
Right.
These armchair warriors on Facebook giving out incorrect information. Although there's plenty of body shops.
It's not so much incorrect, it's misleading.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because...
Well, yeah, I guess. But then there's plenty of shops that'll work off the insurance company estimate. They're not doing you any favors.
Yeah, buyer beware.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So,
well,
anyway, that's what I got for today.
You bet. Thank you. I appreciate all of your knowledge on behalf of our viewers here. And again, if you are seeing this and you made it all the way to this part of the video, would you please just copy the link and share it to your profile on Facebook or your Instagram post or whatever it is you do to connect with the people who are not necessarily body shop technicians. We're not looking for those. We're looking for the average driver who's unaware and will be caught off guard by the tactics that are immediately put into action, like this woman who said her Jeep got into an accident, and immediately she received a letter from the insurer, and they were suggesting, put that in air quotes,
yeah,
these 4 shops, take a pick.
Yeah.
The deck is stacked against you, and yet, as you just said, we have lots of things that are in your favor that if you are aware of, you go into it educated and will come out of it much, much better.
We're here for you if you need us.
Absolutely. Rob, happy Saturday to you.
Happy Saturday to you.
And
thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your week.
You bet.